Krea 2 just went open source, and the internet is already calling it the model that finally kills that overly smooth plastic AI look. It promises raw photorealism, beautiful color science, and images that feel more real than synthetic. But instead of just repeating the hype, I wanted to see what happens when you actually push this model to its limits. So I set up a free, fine-tuned Kaggle notebook that lets you run it straight from your browser, even on a potato PC or a phone with no local GPU required. But before you dive in, we need to look under the hood, because while the benchmarks are impressive, this model still breaks in some very strange and unexpected ways. The developers actually released two distinct versions of the model. First, there is Krea Raw, which is the full-weight model built specifically for training custom things like LoRa's. Then we have Krea 2 Turbo, which is an 8-step distilled version meant for pure generation speed, and that is the model we're using today. Now, looking at the technical architecture, the full precision turbo model is a massive 26 gigabytes, and once you add the text encoder and auxiliary components, the entire setup balloons to around 35 gigabytes. That is a massive barrier for anyone trying to run this locally on low VRAM. Let us see how our open source turbo version handles direct real-world comparisons. On the screen right now, you can see a direct comparison between Krea Turbo and other major open source generators like Ideogram 4, Flux 2 Klein, Boogu Image, Z Image, and QN Image. Looking at this female portrait example, you can immediately spot the problem with Ideogram and Flux. They both suffer from that classic artificial plastic sheen. Krea Turbo, on the other hand, outputs a significantly more natural skin texture. Moving to the second example with a highly complex human pose prompt, notice how almost every other model introduces some kind of anatomical flaw or completely misses the orientation, while Krea Turbo managed to lock down the exact pose structure accurately. Now let's look at a much tougher spatial prompt, which is a girl walking down a mirrored corridor. If you look at the Flux output, it completely failed the reflection logic by turning her face the wrong way, all while maintaining that heavy plastic look. Krea Turbo successfully navigated the depth perspective and cleanly mapped the mirror reflections. However, the model is definitely not flawless. Look at this library scene where the prompt explicitly demanded exactly 3 red books. Craya failed this test completely, scattering random red objects and extra books across the shelves. To be fair, every single model in this comparison failed the exact same test, proving that precise object counting is still a massive blind spot for current open-source architectures. Let's look at a few more side-by-sides, specifically comparing it to Ideogram 4. When it comes to basic text rendering, like this prompt displaying the words "stupid dog," Krea Turbo handles the typography surprisingly well. But look at this comparison featuring a prompt for Donald Trump. Ideogram pushes for photographic realism, while Krea Turbo leans into a slightly more stylized 3D look that almost feels like a cinematic render. Let's jump over to our notebook so I can show you how to run this yourself. You'll just need to go to my GitHub repo where I have added this notebook for Craya and click the Kaggle button next to Krea 2 Turbo, which brings you straight to this Kaggle notebook layout. If you're using Kaggle for the first time, make sure your account is fully verified with your phone or ID, because the platform will not grant you access to their cloud GPUs without it. Once you're in, head over to the Settings menu, open the Accelerator dropdown, and select the Dual T4 GPU option. After that, just click Run All at the top of the page. The session indicator dot will turn green once the cloud machine connects, and it'll take about 5 to 6 minutes to install the dependencies and download the quantized weights before generating a public Gradio link at the bottom. Clicking that link launches this clean Gradio user interface. Right here is your main prompt input box, and next to it is an Enhance button that automatically injects descriptive modifiers into your prompt to improve the output quality. Below that, you'll find 5 basic style presets, though you'll generally get better results by just describing your desired aesthetic directly in the text prompt. For resolution, you can scale all the way up to 2K, but sticking to 1K ensures you get your images in under a minute, as I've optimized this notebook specifically for speed.
You also have standard aspect ratios like 16:9 and 1:1, along with advanced settings to add negative prompts, manual seeds, and step the diffusion up to 12 steps. Let's run some live tests to see how it handles real-time prompting. I'll input a prompt for a stylish woman in a minimalist studio with a dramatic high-contrast key light. Hit Enhance and let it generate. In less than a minute, we get this output, and the skin rendering and contrast control are impressive for an 8-step model. Let's try another quick test with a selfie prompt specifying a soft blurred background. The subject realism is solid, but notice how the background is washed out. Because I explicitly typed soft blurred background, the model over-indexed on that instruction and eliminated all background detail, meaning you have to be very careful with how literally you phrase your prompts. Let's push it with some complex conceptual prompts. Here's an extreme close-up of a dragon's eye reflecting a tiny knight in armor. The texturing on the scales and the eye iris is incredibly detailed, but if you look closely at the reflection, the model struggled with the perspective logic. It looks like the knight is physically standing inside the eye structure rather than being an optical reflection on the surface. Next up is an astronaut helmet reflecting an alien jungle. This one handled the spatial layout much better, cleanly mapping the jungle onto the glass visor while rendering an alien creature and an unexpected American flag. Now for the ultimate prompt stress test that currently breaks almost every model on the market, including the top closed source options. The prompt asks for a single, fully filled glass of red wine on the right side of a rustic table with an antique brass Roman numeral clock on a plain white wall set precisely to 11:15. Looking at our result here, Krea Turbo missed nearly every logical check. The clock face is pointing closer to 12 o'clock, and the wine glass is half empty. This proves that while these distilled models are incredibly fast, their semantic understanding of complex, highly specific spatial layouts is still heavily limited. On the other hand, it handles structural layouts surprisingly well. I gave it a quick prompt asking for a step-by-step process on how to draw a dog, and it successfully generated a clean, 2-step graphic showing a pencil sketch transitioning directly into a finished brown illustration. Let's look at another text test, this time checking how it handles a complex handwritten style layout. I fed it a detailed prompt specifying exactly where to put text, arrows, and even a graph, asking for a whiteboard handwritten aesthetic. Looking at the generation on screen, the model actually did a solid job rendering the exact text strings I provided. However, the style consistency is all over the place. The main heading at the top looks completely printed rather than handwritten, and several elements lower down fail to maintain that organic marker look. It proves it's quite accurate at spitting out the literal text you feed it, but it struggles to lock down a cohesive visual style across the whole image. Now let's look at how it handles a complex text rendering test with this menu generation. I explicitly prompted it with specific item names and layout instructions, and you can see the result on screen right now. The main heading, Banana Bonanza Menu, printed cleanly, and it managed to get the $15 price tag right for the Go Bananas burger along with the $11 below it. But look at the descriptions. The text dissolves into completely incomprehensible gibberish. It gets worse as you look down the menu. For the grilled chicken skewers, it just rendered some random items on a plate instead of actual skewers. The banana fruited basket somehow turned into a sandwich, and every single description block is filled with meaningless text artifacts. This highlights a core limitation of Krea Turbo. It lacks the internal semantic logic to contextually invent text on its own, meaning it will only render the exact strings you feed it, and anything else defaults to unreadable gibberish. Finally, let's check how it handles celebrity generations and content censorship. I dropped in a prompt for Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin fighting in a boxing ring, and the generation is clean, showing both figures with accurate facial features and boxing gear, confirming there is no heavy censorship filtering here. A second test with Elon Musk and Sam Altman having a discussion in a coffee shop nailed Elon's likeness, though Sam's face came out a bit different and required a reroll. Ultimately, for an 8-step distilled model that you can run completely free without burning through your own local hardware, Krea 2 Turbo offers incredible speed and high-tier realism, even if its semantic logic has clear limits. The direct link to the notebook is in the description below, so test it out with your own prompts and let me know in the comments how it handles your specific workflow. If you want more honest technical breakdowns without the usual AI hype, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.